It's Madden NFL 23, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants, just ahead on EA Sports.
It's an afternoon probably best suited for skating in Central Park, but we're across the river. We are in for a cold one at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Time Panther Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by an 11th-year passer in the league now. Still best remembered for his heroics in Super Bowl 52, of course, Nick Foles.
And no matter how many times it's said before, Nick Foles will always be linked first to Super Bowl 52 as a quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles and the game's MVP. Valued by many teams as a high-end backup, we also know that he's capable as a starter.
Now the NFL's leading rusher in 2021, Jonathan Taylor. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Foles finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
Many teams evaluate ticket ends really change. We used to wonder how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yards can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. First and 10, Taylor now. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Taylor. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Here's Foles. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Foles. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
To throw again on 2nd down. Foles. He'll get this one to Pittman. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 19. Another good reception there. The Colts on march. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Now Foles. Flushed, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here and move it forward.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Another try after the 1st down sack. Foles. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it until a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. Touchdown Colts. Mo Alley-Cox, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Colts will jump on top with the game's 1st score here this afternoon. That was a big throw right there on 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to be prepared for you to throw the ball on 3rd and goal. Because really, 2nd down, 2nd and goal, that's your play action time, and you're not sure whether they're going to run it or throw it. 3rd down, you're usually sure they're probably going to pass it. Even more impressive that they got it done. And on the opening drive of the game.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Here come the Giants, led out by their former 6th overall pick out of Duke back in 2019. Daniel Jones under center.
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability, the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun. He can throw it deep, throw it short, and of course take off out of the pocket and beat you with his legs as well.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Second down, here's Barkley again. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Throwing, Jones. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in a hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Got a man, that's Richie James. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. A first down carry for Barkley. Yeah, he'll manage to pick up about 4, 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. On the draw, this is Barkley. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know the securing point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So now on comes the field goal unit. And wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw left side taken in by Pittman. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And that's why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll try to run for the first with Taylor. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? Be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
They'll look to throw here on first down, and it's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hand or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Just a pickup of 3, but that is indeed enough.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
Well, throw for Pittman is intercepted. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. And the Giants are going to have it here just past the 25. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try to spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Jones now on first down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call Doopy Toes if that one was completed.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. James has got it. Complete. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Here's Jones. Off the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bobby Okereke running in and bringing him down. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. On the return, it's Rodgers. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Indianapolis.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. Ooh, with a juke. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
First down at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 10. First down, Indianapolis.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Giants, nothing.
Start of the second quarter, it's the Colts in possession. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to Taylor on 1st down. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd and 9, Foles. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he is going to lose yardage here. All told, it's a loss of 8 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. This is why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call
receivers
PPR?
still get the point there. Yeah.
No.
And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
The offense on 3rd down, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. They'll look to throw. The toss here completed to Pittman. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Ran a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And New York set to take the field. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. They'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. It's a gain of 11 and a giant first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Now Jones on first and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Rodney McLeod. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will, first and 10. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Gets this to Campbell out on the right side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's second down. Now back to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Back to throw. He finds Taylor, complete. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of first, right around the 15. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-to-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He's at the 40. The 20. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Giants.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes it's just a guy getting a feed, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring out to the 25. The Colts getting another possession here on offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll set up a throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3. Running left, Taylor. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
On the counter, it's Taylor to the 43, 2nd down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my man, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Foles hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. So 7 yards for the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Foles. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
So on 4th down, Matt Hawk on to punt for Indy. Waiting on it will be Richie James. of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at a quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley to about the 33-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Jones to Galladay, 1st down Giants. Looking to throw. Jones. He's got Bellinger. And he'll get him down on the other side midfield.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because of the drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From just shy of midfield, Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this will be caught. It's Isaiah Hodgins. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They bring pressure there on 3rd down, but this is a nice job of picking it up and making sure the guy has time to deliver the football. And they wind up getting the 1st down.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense.
Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. He sets to fire deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Boy, the coverage there airtight as he comes away with the interception.
Love that observation there because they were taking a shot at the end zone. But you're right about the coverage. Absolutely tremendous. And this they could clip for a training tape. Staying with him down the field, locates the football in the air, and comes away with the interception.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley Cox, the tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 25 yards that time.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Foles. And this is incomplete.
This back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him. His first read was covered, just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Foles. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. They'll look to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Giants now going to take over late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And they need work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing Jones. Throw left side taken in by Galladay. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Now Jones. Got a man, Slayton. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Jones throwing on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, caught by Bellinger. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And he missed it. It's no good. And the deficit will stay at 2 field goals. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BJ, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. Nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
Jones now on first down. Being chased out left. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones going right side. He finds Slayton. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Back to throw again. And that is incomplete.
Coverage is awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. That's running out of steam and won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And the deficit will stay at 2 field goals. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Let's ride, dog. I got you, baby. Playmaker, step up right now.
Couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game, 1st and 10 here. Foles throw into the hands of Pittman here. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Foles. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far and brings up 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Some things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something's off with that one.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The New York set to take the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try to take the field goal out of it.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Jones throw here pulled in by Galladay. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to it before either guy in double coverage could react.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Jones. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off the play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
First down's not come easy, and neither runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw left side taken in by Slayton. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
A couple 1st downs right in succession. And this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Looking to throw. Jones escaping the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Quiddy Pay able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's the second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Back to throw. Jones. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones dancing to his left. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. Gano's kick is good, and that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Campbell making the catch. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Back to the same target, Campbell. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. They'll try the left side with Taylor. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go for 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without it, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but you can't add to that.
That was certainly one way to first go. When those extra defenders on the field, time blockage, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Here's Matt Hogg now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. Looking to throw. Jones. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle with Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there. Now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
3rd down. The Colts beefing up the secondary. 6 defensive backs in the game. Operating from the gun, Jones.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. So the completion results in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Here's Foles. Flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
He'll drop to throw. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
And he'll find Pittman. And he is going to have a Colts first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
For many people, that's not your standard play call in that 3rd down situation. But for so many offenses, they just want the ball in the hands of their playmakers in open space. And after he caught it, he did a nice job picking up the first down.
What's the deal, y'all?
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got his man. It's Pierce. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
First down, Colts.
Foles. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Mo Alley-Cox.
And there's completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Now Foles. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Mo Alley-Cox, his tight end, and it's third down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. On the handoff, Taylor. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. They go to the ground again with Taylor. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Foles. That's complete right around the 8. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. Back to throw here. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown! Paris Campbell from 8 yards out. And the Colts get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now out come the Giants. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here. They are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's caught by Galladay. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try to get the ball back again.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Barkley inside handoff. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there's a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Jones. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. To tackle them almost on the spot, that means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Now, yes, 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, have to pick up the pace now because it's 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Throwing, Jones. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
You'd think defenses might be a little more prepared for plays like this because so many offensive coordinators, when they get the ball after a turnover, they do like to dial up a deep ball right away. And if I were a defensive coordinator in this league, that's exactly what I would say to my defense before they went out to play. In this case, though, they didn't get the message, and a big play resulted.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They're going to look to throw. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. It's a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. The New York set to take the field. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Brandon Faison. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. So a 4th quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner. And I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
So the Colts now bringing the offense back onto the field as they'll go for 2. Foles will look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Giants going to take over again on offense. And that last pick 6 may have been backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the 4th quarter. They need points quickly. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. Catch made by Slayton. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 27-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones pass to Bellinger on the crossing route. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This one is Slayton over the middle.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. That's now 4 completions in a row. Good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got Bellinger. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL, but just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
To throw again on 2nd down, Jones. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like lost cause.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone, we're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 to 36. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. First and 10, Taylor now.
And he's going to get this pass of 50 and into Giant territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. On a handoff, this is Taylor. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the 6.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
They run once more with Taylor.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. Let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire 2nd half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets, defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.